G'day guys, CMAC here. Gonna be a bit more of a shorter one today, sort of not really feeling creating a massive moto vlog off of this. Unfortunately over the weekend, what planned to be a pretty awesome adventure, and I was hoping to get a decent amount of footage, ended up sort of failing on me. I had quite a few different plans set out and almost none of them ended up coming to fruition. Was planning on going on an adventure through a place called Leamington National Park, which would have been pretty sick. I'd planned to do that either next weekend or a weekend coming up soon anyway, because I was so stoked, and then got to Friday night, and we were judging the weather on Friday night. Then all of a sudden we're like, oh yeah, we'll wake up in the morning on Saturday and see what it's looking like then, and basically go off of that. So I got up on Saturday and called up my parents that were actually down towards the area where we were planning on going, and they were saying that it was just pouring down there, so we called that off. I was like, oh, that's not too bad, I'll just go riding downhill on the weekend then. I'll go out on Sunday and ride downhill at a few of the tracks that they had open days at. One in particular, organised everything to go out there, and then on that night, Saturday night, saw a message get put up on Facebook from people who organised the event and said that it was cancelled because basically the cars just couldn't make it up the hill. It was too wet up there. So I was like, oh, well that's a shame. Then me and the guys who were planning on going riding up there, we decided we would head out to a different track then. One that wouldn't really matter if the roads are wet, because it's not a hard like four-wheel drive road to get up. Like, okay, we'll do that. Got up on Sunday morning and it was just pouring down. So I contacted the others and they were all in the same boat. They were like, yeah, nah, we'll just leave it. If it rains while we're out there and we get covered in mud, it's not too bad, but you sort of don't really want to be going out in the rain just for fun, as it's not really fun at all. Well, the novelty of sliding around all the place is alright, but I don't know, it's not really worth it if you know that you're going to get muddy. If you're on the way there or you're already there and riding when the heavens open up, you sort of just deal with it and keep going, but yeah, don't want to be just heading out there when you know what it's going to be like. So that got called off, and then I was like, okay, well that's all the bad news for the weekend. I just basically was at home, serviced my bikes, gave them a good clean and whatnot. Today I've got to confirm it, but my older brother, who was coming with me to Morgan Park, the racetrack, not next weekend but the following one, he contacted them to find out, hey, what needs to be collected, what information do they need, so that today, this morning, we could just hand in straight away, so that we're one of the first people on the list to get a spot. And turns out that it's already booked out. All the members have already booked it out, which is really annoying, because I was quite excited to get out to there. The problem is that one weren't a member, so it only opened up to non-members today, and we didn't really want to be spending, because it's something like an extra $150 I think to become a member. And then they had some other sort of membership thing that was $20, but we didn't look into that really. We saw that it was opening today for non-members and thought that that'd be alright. As well as we didn't want to be booking it too far out in advance in case, say, like weather like this comes down and ends up basically ruining the entire track day, because you generally don't get a refund or anything like that. Like, you can't push it to another date unless the track is actually flooded, because there's people out there that still would want to ride out in the wet weather. In terms of like races come out and they would love to get a bit of wet weather practice, because they have the whole bike set up and everything for it. as well as the people who run the motorbike events out there, the different tracks. Generally they hire the track, they don't own the track, so they don't get a refund from the people who actually own the track just because of the wet weather, so they still have to pay for that anyway, which is quite unfortunate. So I'm gonna get into work today and take a quick look, see if I can book something, see if it says there's spots available online. Maybe just whoever my brother spoke to might not have been fully informed, but it's sort of unlikely. Just finished work for the day. Probably not planning on uploading much. Just on my way into the city, gonna do a bit of dancing. It's Tuesday night, haven't been in there for a while on a Tuesday, like I mentioned in my prior videos. I think I'll only upload this if anything interesting happens on the way in. Otherwise, it's gonna be a pretty cruisy one, just taking it easy, see how things go. I sort of spent most of the day getting programs and stuff ready so I can do a bit more high quality editing of my footage. I think I have my programs sorted out. Was using just Windows Movie Maker for my first couple of videos, and now I've gone to Adobe Premiere Pro. Don't have much experience using it. I'm quite familiar with the Adobe software in terms of that I've used Adobe Photoshop quite a lot, and I'm fairly good with it. And I thought Premiere Pro was going to be quite similar, but it seems to be a little bit more complex. Not so much more complex, I mean it has a lot of information just like Photoshop, but everything's just worded differently and I don't know what everything does. So that's my only issue. But yeah, getting the hang of that now, sort of understand what the simple commands are and getting the hang of it. Realize that I think I mentioned to a mate of mine who's into videography and he's studying it, film and everything at university. What's a good program to create an introduction with for my videos, and he mentioned that to me. But it seems as though that's more of a better editing software as opposed to one for creating like just random intros. I think the program that I'm really after to create an intro with is Adobe After Effects. So I think I might look into getting that shortly. But yeah. Right. As you do. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ooh, like, what is an Aprilia? Looks like an Aprilia. I think it is. Hard to tell. And you're going slow. Da 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 da. Oh, there's traffic. Lots and lots of traffic. Da 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 da. I think we're gonna take the much prettier way into the valley city. A little bit later at night, 5:30 at the moment. Hopefully there's not too much traffic. There isn't normally. Normally it's pretty good. Whoa, damn. Look at that bad driver. Bloody hooligan. Where are you going, buddy? You going down there? Jeez, you have no idea what you're doing. Anyways, you'll see up ahead. This way's a bit nicer. Get to go over a nice and lovely bridge and along the river with some nice pretty lights. If they're on. Hopefully they're on. Otherwise this will be slightly disappointing. Soon find out anyway. Oh, it's the Popo! Ready? It's just skids behind them. Just kidding. Could very easily do a wheelie though. Try to put it up onto that step at the back. You dare me? No, no. I kind of value having my license. See? Nice lovely views of the city. Sometimes I come out here a little bit later and it's even nicer. Still a little bit of light from the sun up at the moment. People rock climbing. There's a cliff face just back there where people pay to do climbing up it, and abseiling, stuff like that kind of jazz. Now, I don't want to sneak up there. I think I do. Ooh, cop car with lights on. What's going on up here? What is it? What is it? What is it? Was it? Oh, pull somebody over. What have you done, Commodore? Probably drugs. Being a Commodore. That's unlucky. It'd be funny if it was speeding. I get out from here, come down here, and there's a speed camera. Get done twice in the one night. Definitely heard of that happening before. Ooh, let's see if the pretty lights are on the Sturdy Bridge. Yeah, they are. And I get to get a nice butt massage as well while going over here. All these metal connectors, feel the vibrations through them, and she's like, "Did him? We got him. Got him. Got him. Got him." They get even more hectic over here. Whoa, that was a good one. I don't want to climb that bridge one day. Stuff paying for it though. You can pay something like close to $200 to climb it if you want. To do it with like guides and whatnot. Who the hell needs guides? Oh, there's those nice bumps. I can feel them right down my spine. Oh, can I drag a knee around this corner though? That is the question. My tyres are getting pretty slippery. I don't really have much faith in them compared to my R6. At least not as much as I used to. Oh well, go down pretty low. Look at the puppy. It's like, no, I don't want to go. More of a rat than a puppy. So yeah, just been jamming out for a break session. Thought I might check in. Seems though I've like bust up. Oh. Slow up for the veterans. That was funny watching them run. Yeah, so I seem to have busted my shoulder a little bit. Was working on coin drops and stuff a bit more and getting into them from a bit harsher landings and stuff, and yeah, must have taken too many hits to it. It's quite tender now. But with it being such a long time since I've been into the valley braking, I forgot just how goddamn slippery those floors are. They're awesome to spin and do tricks on. So nice. And I think they must have been like polished or resurfaced recently, because it was like on a whole new level. Either that or it's just because I've haven't been there for so long. I think I need to look into getting some new tyres for this bike. I'm not sure whether it's just the road conditions today being a bit slippery still from all the rain, or whether it is their age, but they just haven't had as much traction as they normally do. I mean, I haven't tried to ride them hard, like I haven't done a mountain run on this bike in ages, so I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, don't know, we'll see. They're not that old. I mean, I got them under a year ago. I'd love to live over that side of the river. Me and a mate have been looking into moving into the city, into an apartment in the city recently. Well, actually for quite a while now. Sounds like a good idea to me. But the apartments that are over the river are so much cheaper and so much nicer The reason why we want to go into the city though is for the convenience of being in the city, so you never have to really travel. But yeah, I definitely would like the view looking at the city instead. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, is there a cop up here? No, there isn't. Luckily, cops like to hide just there. I've unfortunately got a ticket by them when driving my car. They decided to book me for going 5 Ks over. I was so mad because I saw the cop was in my car, slowed down, made sure as I was going past I was doing 60 on my speedo. But I got a new set of tyres not too long ago and they're much bigger, so I think they've thrown out my speedo. I think it runs a little bit faster. Hang on, faster, slower? Slower than what I'm actually doing. Oh, went straight over that. Whee! I'm not going to be able to overtake him. I don't think so. Oh, maybe. It's going to be close. No. Oh, I probably could have. Come on. How'd you come? Just out for a lovely Tuesday night stroll. Oh, are you going to turn right? You're braking pretty hard? Or are you just braking hard for this, you know, super tight corner just here? You're braking for this real tight corner. Wouldn't want to take it too fast on your leisurely stroll. Things might get wild. The back end of your Swift, is it a Swift? I can't tell, it's not bright enough. The back end of your Suzuki might step out and you'll be doing sick front wheel drive drifts.